Hello and welcome to CAGET, and today we're going to be talking about an idea for a future Plants vs. Zombies game I have. Yeah, no, I know, I usually do Roblox content, but I have done a series a while ago, a 4-part series about Plants vs. Zombies, ideas I have for future games, and then I followed up with a 5th video later on. This is the 6th video, the second added on past the original series starting of just Plants vs. Zombies ideas. Now, we saw the title of the video, and we're wondering, why is it called the collections idea? Well, you see, when a video game franchise, older one, so what they do, a lot of times what they do is they compile all their games up together, old video game franchises, and put them all into one bigger game. They can sell, because the older game, because they can sell for the same price as the normal game, because, the older games didn't have as much content. And basically you can play a lot of game collections, rather than a whole bunch of previous old games, and you can combine them all together. And, that's why it's called collections. And I'll talk about that in a second, but what I originally got the idea from was playing a game called the Battle Cats, and basically, when you're playing it, and you collect if you playing for a little bit, the game, once you beat the first world, or main stuff levels, you can, do the harder version of that, or you can go out to the future levels. So, the game gets, it's so weird, it's kind of interesting, because, you have one main, first off, you have what kind of levels you want to play, like the normal levels, the future levels, there's probably other ones too. And then you get to select the specific world in those levels, and then you select the specific level. Which is kind of interesting, it's got me thinking. Because I wanted to see a game where it has all the levels from all the previous Plants vs. Zombies games, like all the tower defense side of things, not like the Garden Warfare side or Hero side, but what if, you had a game where you had all the levels from PvZ 1 and 2 in it, and I guess PvZ 3 is now in the beta, and it has started at least a new beta, by the way. So last time I think we talked about that PvZ 3 was really bad, and they shut it down, and they completely redid the game art style and everything. I actually like the new art style though, but I would prefer to keep this new art style in 3D, because I feel like the 3D was kind of cool in the old other games, just how they modeled stuff was bad. But the new beta for PvZ 3 is really cool. It's pretty decent now, I like it, but let's finally get onto the idea. I've already laid all the groundwork down. The idea would be is you can basically play for the game and play every let's say PvZ 1, 2, and 3, and they're all connected. So plant food will exist in this game, So how you play for the game is like this. You first start out with just the front yard or day levels from Plants vs. Zombies 1. The tutorial Plants vs. Zombies 2 wouldn't exist in this game, but you did PvZ 1's first world. So any plant that costed money, and it was like a PvZ 1 plant that was free, then we asked for PvZ 2 will become free again in this game. So if that makes sense, but it would be a way for them to make money, which I'll talk later on because reasons. But you first start out with, what's it called? You start with Pea Shooter, and you have to beat the first world itself. You first start out with the only levels you get is the front yard world from PvZ 1's, or the original timeline as well. Different groups will be the original timeline, Time Chaos, which will be PvZ 2, and new timeline, something like that, for PvZ 3 content. I don't know what it'll be called. But the world differences between things. You do the first world PvZ 1. Once you do that, you'll unlock the PvZ 2's selection of worlds, and you unlock ancient Egypt first. And which you need to pay for the PvZ 2 worlds in the EA's new ordering, because back in the day you play PvZ 2 and you choose whatever world you want, but then recently they made it so you didn't have to play them for a certain, because originally PvZ 2 the worlds would come out order, you just play the worlds in the release order, then after that you can choose whatever world you want, and now you have to play the world somewhat in the order. So yeah, interesting one, but that's kind of interesting. So what it has once you get the PvZ 1's the PvZ 1 intro bit, you unlock PvZ 3's, beginning of PvZ 3. Somewhere in between PvZ 3's beginning. There's new beta is you get some of the PvZ 3 plants, some of the PvZ 2 and 1 plants, but I don't know how that would work. But yeah, you'll have PvZ 1's intro, then you unlock PvZ 2 and 3's first world. We'll unlock PvZ 2's night world, PvZ 1's night world, the second world PvZ 1, if that makes sense. And then after that, you each have to do, after you PvZ 1's first world tutorial of the game, you unlock PvZ2's world area, and PvZ3's beginning area. PvZ2's the ancient Egypt world, and PvZ3's over there going to do that. And then after that, you're going to be playing Ancient Egypt and PvZ2's Ancient Egypt. I mean, the Plains Enemies Collection's like Ancient Egypt area, and beat that all the way through, which should be a little bit longer. You unlock Pirate Seas. If you get halfway through that world, you'll be like halfway reward with unlocking Pirate Seas, and then if you follow, you get some reward. And if you take idea from the Battle Cats, like you get maybe like that game has treasures as reward from being able to like, Plains Enemies 1, you get or some special item every time you beat a world level. Plains Enemies 2 made it so you get coins if there's no plant at the end of the level because there wasn't plants that are available. And Plains Enemies 3 is, I don't know how that works right now because it's still in beta, but you get what I mean, right? But on top of that, you would also have some plants from the story mode, like you get tons of, like, the first tutorial, you get all the same, a lot of good plants in the tutorial, like, and then you would get, over time, as you use the tutorial, you would then have a few plants in each world, and every few levels would give you new plants. Of course, plants wouldn't be, plants could be obtained multiple times. It's taking their idea from the Battle Cats, which is the fact that plants, Battle Cats, the cats, we get a duplicate of a cat somehow. Instead of being being weird and glitching out, it basically gives you extra level on the thing because you can use XP to level up the cats in that game. But there's a little limit cap, but you can get multiple copies which don't count towards your limit cap. So you can have something that's like a 20, like plus 10 or something like that to get a level 30 in total. Two levels 30, but you can only get like level 20 until you get a certain point. Then they have like 10 extra copies of it, so you get a level 30 cat. And so you can get all level 30s naturally, But yeah, well, we did something like that. So plants could be leveled. And how about multiple different ways? How is having seed packets like other games have where you can level them up? You either use XP, which you get a reward for being levels, or you can, sometimes XP you can also get multiple copies of it. So like, for example, let's just say you get Bok Choy in Ancient Egypt. Phase 3 is Bok Choy in its earlier levels, so if you get there, you get +1 your Bok Choy. And that kind of towards your max character plant level, and so you can possibly send some special plant seed packet thing that make it so your possible level can go up on that plant. So the max level can go up. Possibly another good idea to take from that. Let's see. But it's not, Battle Cats says we can't call treasures, but every time you beat level, there's a chance you'll get a treasure off of that level. It's just free from rarities of it, so you can hunt for the rarest rarity. Then you get certain groups of treasures scared, these special buffs. That actually make the idea of this Plains Enemies collection game, And now what about like pinata parties, stuff like that? There'll be a fourth category on top of the free pre-existing games where you can do special challenge levels and you maybe get special rewards from that. All of the tab world and stuff could be under this challenge area as well. You could also have, on top of that special challenge area, you could have, maybe a level builder. So your special, which would be like after first of course you'd have PvZ 1, 2, and 3 in the collections game, most of the levels from those, with some modifications and the art style changes, they all work together. And then a special, which would be like daily stuff, Pace Pursuit, maybe a versus mode, some of the pace, maybe like something like what's called versus mode in PvZ 2, something like that. Maybe level builder, to make your own goals and levels you can share with other people and stuff. Whole lots of cool stuff, But yeah. Now, how did you get plants? Of course, you get some from the story mode, and you can also earn them from like maybe like I don't know. I don't extreme loot box systems. Maybe a loot box system, I guess. But unlike normal loot box systems, where the game's possible, you get plants from playing the story mode normally. So you still earn a lot of plants from the story mode. But if you get the same plant you already got in the story mode, you can just get a +1 for that. So the loot box is just you get maybe a free pull daily, and then different loot box options and stuff like that as well. Possibly, so possibly new special loot boxes where certain times of Christmas may have some exclusive Christmas plants. It could also just be retextures of plants, maybe like a skin for a plant you could get out of these and stuff. There'll be tons of cool things you could do with that. But yeah. Anyway, that would be kind of a cool idea, having, and possibly on top of those free things like Plains Enemies 1, 2, and 3's levels mechanics, and worlds all being presented in the game. The mechanics that will be shared will be like will be similar to Prince of Freeze mechanics with plant food and power ups. They'll be working all the game worlds and stuff. So there has to be some modifications to the game, so it runs like all the other games connected. So that'll be new change. There'll possibly even be on top of that a fourth new area after added on, like a fourth new set of levels. Whole other group of levels have special stuff like, for people who want to make their own custom layer level. Not even for custom levels, just like new levels entirely, like a whole that haven't been seen before, like, and maybe even mini games also be on the special areas, like Prince of Peace have mini games. So maybe Prince of Peace collections will have all the Prince of Peace 1 mini games. And I guess Prince of Peace 2's base breaker levels and stuff like that, and new mini games as well, all being present in a mini games area. You can play any of the games you want once you unlock them. Which maybe so maybe a level we could get. Not just, you can use coins. Maybe you can use coins to unlock new coins to the loot box system, or maybe you can also get them from like a gem system, loot box exclusive stuff as well. And possibly maybe being a premium loot box that you pay real money for and stuff. Well, that wouldn't be a good idea. Not a premium loot box. Like premium currency games about loot boxes that you have to get in game. Thinking about maybe gems would be hard to get, same with rarity with PvZ too, but like rare. But then you also pay real money for them. That's how you get them. So rare loot box stuff. I don't know. Paying extra money for loot boxes itself is bad. Having change it to a in-game currency that has to be earned normally is probably a better option. But yeah. Anyway, what do you guys think of a PvZ game where basically, you have the combination of PvZ 1, 2, and 3, with tons of new plans, plus extra levels, plus, that would be kind of a cool idea, And this is the end of the video. Remember to like and subscribe to CAGET on YouTube, and peace.